Hi everyone, I am back. Welcome back to my chat. I know it's been about 2 weeks now. Unfortunately, last week we had a major storm that came by and we had some tornadoes that knocked out our power for 5 days. So it was a challenge, but I'm happy to be back and I wanted to continue, just have a conversation for a few minutes. Today's topic is more talking about triggers and bully mentality. It's kind of like a passion of me to talk about this based on my own experiences and witnessing experience of others. But before I start that, I just wanted to catch up and let you know that in about 2 weeks, I will be releasing some really good workshops for those who are going back to school. So, those who are going to college or going back to school, I have a guideline and a checklist for you, and that's going to be totally free. So, keep your eyes open. It'll be in 2 weeks on August 29th. And I'm going to have some workshops related to getting ready to go back to school as a neurodivergent person, adults who are neurodivergent as well. I have something for you if you're going back to studying and you're not know how to get started, and also some tips how to study online if you're dyslexic or if you have other learning disabilities. Um, and I always like to start off my talks here with some thoughts. So actually, I found this ring that I had as a child, and I'm probably you know all about it. It's the love me not." It's very small. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Well, you can barely see it. It's not in focus. Wait, let me cover my face. Okay. Anyway, it says love me not." And it's always about romance, but it's about decision to love yourself too. Do you love yourself or do you not love yourself? And that's a big topic with bullying. And you know, I live in a city, a small city. Okay, it's pretty big, but bullying has been a big issue, and it has to do with love, really. As human beings, either you love yourself or you don't, or you love someone else or you don't love them. And there's been a history in my city where students have lost their lives because they didn't love themselves or others did not love them. And that's a huge issue for everybody. And I've been always an advocate of this, and I've been really involved with the schools and a lot of volunteering myself. But I come to realize no matter how good your intentions are in an organization, it all comes down to you, to yourself. And I know a lot of people laugh about coaching and life coach. There's a lot of rumors about that. But if you really want this to change in our society, we have to work on ourselves. And you need to learn to love yourself and you need to learn to love others. And you can only do that if you can work on yourself first. So if you are working on yourself, you need to learn to love yourself, right? So let's take my scraps that I've been collecting over the years. Like I said, I have not looked into these scraps, so we're just picking some random words here or random images. We will see what they are. Huh. Okay, interesting. Oh my gosh, how perfect. It says celebrate love, introducing beautiful love. Oh my gosh, that's the topic of our discussion today. How perfect. Beautiful love. Introduce beautiful love. Celebrate love. That is so important. Life now. You have to live life now. So important. Not in the past, not in the future, but right now. The need for speed. Yeah, we all have that need for speed. We feel like we need to rush and get through a lot of things. So, yeah, need for speed. Dreams are in full bloom. Dreams are in full bloom. So, yeah, let yourself bloom and thrive. Definitely. Uh, Today is the day to celebrate. Absolutely. Today is the day to celebrate. I love this. This is like celebration, your life, love in beautiful moment. Now. See? Now, today. Today is time to celebrate. All things red. I don't know, but love is red, isn't it? And I love the color red. Red is my favorite color, and it definitely brings that. Tell your heart to tell your heart you love it. I can't believe how synchronized this is to what I'm talking about. Tell your heart, love it. Oh my gosh. Love life. Look at this. All of this is connected to loving life. And red hot or act fast. So fast, you need to love yourself fast. Right now, live in the speed. It's so perfect. Oh my gosh. So, yes, love yourself. And, this is a time everyone is going back to school. And I really want everyone to pay attention to students who are struggling. I did put in a message here, a hotline for students, for anybody who needs help with bullying. And this is so important for me. And this is one of the things I coach on very much. And you need to be able to stand up for yourself and to love yourself. And that's the one thing I really find hard in our society nowadays is the need to separate ourselves from others. Anyone who is a different point of view, different point of religion, different point of political ideal is different, just different. And just not accepting the person as they are, but we have to hate them, we have to be afraid of them. Why? Why? You have to ask yourself why. And this is the thing, I know Facebook is not going to show my video because it's not talking about fear, because fear brings money and it brings control. So if you find yourself getting lost in Facebook and social media and all the fear mongering and all the scary predictions of life, you have to take yourself out of it. And I'm kind of glad that I lost the power last week. It took me out of it. I came back to reality. I grounded myself, and I start thinking about like areas of my life where I'm afraid of life generally, and we shouldn't. We should not be afraid. So, so important to talk to your family, yourself. What am I afraid of? Why am I afraid? And love yourself. Choose. Where's my ring? To love me. Choose to love me, not love me not. Choose to love me. So that's what I'm talking about today. So last week, I started not last week, 2 weeks ago, I started my artwork, and I'm going to continue working on that. But before I get back to my artwork, since I was lost in the world of no electricity, my family decided to go to Erie, Pennsylvania, and we joined a workshop, and I really enjoyed this, because I collect many things. I collect shells, as you know, but I also collect beautiful glass, beach glass. So I did a workshop, and I did this little, very cute little birdie it's glass. It's glass from the beach, and I wrote here, "Didn't find the alligator, found my sassy bird instead." And this is because, I don't know if you heard, but there's supposedly an alligator in Lake Erie, on Erie, Pennsylvania. So I was just making a joke of that, of course. Give me a moment because I want to make sure I'm online. I don't like to just talk to myself. I want to make sure you hear me. So let's see here. I am. Okay, good. Yeah, so this gave me an idea that since I have a collection of glass, I will start making designs with glass. And I thought it would be a fun activity for us to do. So, anyone who's following along with me, get some of your glass. It doesn't have to be glass, it can be any object, to be honest. And we're going to use our imagination and just create little cards or little pictures of art. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place, but that's I am a very creative person, so I tend to think outside the box. I also found my old and dusty drawing pen, digital drawing pen. I don't know if this will work on my computer, but I was thinking about doing some online drawing. If that's something that you're interested in, let me know. We can do that. All right. So I'm just gonna continue. I'm doing a slow project here, of course. So I'm just gonna continue putting a line. I have a lot of these tiny little shells, and I think I'll just continue the line here. And I think my hot glue is working. Okay, good. Yeah, so triggers. So school. School is triggering for a lot of people with learning disabilities, those who have anxiety. I remember when I was in school, uh, in my third grade, I was constantly having stomach aches. And my mother would take me to the doctor, and the doctor says I'm fine. But I was anxious. I was anxious to go to school. So every day I complained about stomach aches. And it was hard. I can imagine for my mother it was very difficult because I was crying every day. I was making myself sick because I was nervous. I was nervous about studying. At that time, I was doing speech therapy, so I was very self-conscious of myself, technically, and I was aware that something was wrong with me, that I'm not doing my best, and I was nervous. But I had very supportive, you know, schools. Ooh, 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 hot, 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 hot. Sorry, very hot glue. I had support at school, but I didn't understand what was going on with me. As a child, I was what, 7 or 8 years old. Um, no one really explained to me what I need to work on. Actually, I felt kind of stupid, to be honest, because I was taken out of the classroom, which I'm a big advocate of not doing that, to be honest. You need to keep students in the classroom, and there should be another way to do that, but they're working on it. I went to the dyslexia convention last year, and they said, it takes years for things to be implemented at school. And it's only like ideas that started 20 years ago are starting to be put in schools right now. It's a very long time, and so many students are struggling. So, where is that going? So, school is triggering. It's triggering for people who don't know what is wrong with them, or they think there's something wrong with them, but there's nothing wrong with them. It's just the lack of communication, lack of understanding, really. And a lot of people I talk to nowadays are going back to study, and they are reliving their childhood. That happened to me too when I went back to study psychology. I I started to get nervous. I was scared. I didn't expect I was expecting I'm going to have the same struggles as I had when I was younger, which I did. But this time around, I decided to prepare myself better and to have a better support group. So I had my own coach. I reached out and did um, therapy, and I did coach. I have someone coach me, as well as based on my past experiences, things that work for me, I reused it and I adjusted it. And I realize there is no help for adults or students over the age of 18 related to studying. And I am decided to create a workshop for adults, for older students, how to better prepare yourself. Because why go through the triggers of your past to prevent you from reaching your goals? A lot of people d- just don't attempt to go back to school. They don't attempt new things because they are triggered by their past, and they get stuck. And even those who have started, they kind of drop out because they didn't have that support. They were not prepared. So I created, and I'm going to be posting it soon to my website, ways to prepare yourself to get back to school, back to studying, to help you get through the triggers of your past. And overall, this some useful tools to help you get started. Well, something's moving. I have a ghost in my room. So that's going to be coming out at the end of this month. I hope. I hope I don't get any more delays in this. Um, so if you're watching this, if you know someone who is thinking about going back to school, but have dyslexia, ADHD, autism, and there's a lot of people who are not diagnosed too. You don't even have to be diagnosed. This will be useful for everybody. Just to get the support. And as a coach, I'm here too. I'm here to support you in any changes. And I have to say, change is not easy. You're going to be triggered by your lack of self awareness. You're going to be surprised about your own behaviors. Maybe you realize you didn't take the time to think about areas of your life, and that can be hard too, to realize that maybe you're the problem. And that's hard to say. Ooh, hot. That's hard to say, to admit to yourself that you can be preventing yourself. You're the one who preventing yourself more than anything else. And you have to get through that. And you have to get through that awkward stage. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And let me show you what I'm doing so far. So I'm actually adding, and sorry for the strings of hot glue because I'm trying to avoid my fingers, but I'm just adding another layer of shells to this bottle. Let me see if anyone is chatting. Sorry, I'm just chatting and not paying attention. Oh, hey Andrew. Okay, hey, good to see you. I'm glad to see you watching. I hope you're good. Yeah. I know everyone is working now, so I understand that nobody's watching at the moment, but if you happen to watch it later, comment below. Tell me about your experiences in school. How did you feel when you started to go back to studying again, if you're studying again? Um, yeah, what's your experience? I know that it's not just education, it's just background. As I was growing up, of course, I only had my sister and and I used to be bullied for being a twin. Can you imagine that? I got bullied for being a twin. I guess my twin sister and I did not look alike. They have to find something because we were different. And of course, it's a good. I hope so. Uh-oh. I hope sound is connected. Wait one moment. Okay, I think I am back. I hope so, because I'm going to say something important. So, about bullying. So, I was bullied for being a twin and not being identical. I was bullied because I grew up without a father. So, there were questions were like, why you don't have a father? Were always on my mind. I was bullied because my mother was foreign. So, they didn't understand that I was American, but I was born here. And I still have that today. It's really frustrating. Like, people ask, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "US." And they're like, "Oh, really? You don't sound American. You don't act like American." All kinds of funny things. So everyone can be bullied for something. Everyone. So, going back to all of our discussions here, it's all about loving yourself and loving others. Tell your heart you love it. That's our message today. Ah, it is what it is. But I'm glad there are people out there today trying to make a change, and it's not easy. Even when you have good intentions, you're gonna face with people who don't have good intentions. So you have to be prepared for that. Be prepared for anything, as they say. All right, I have one more shell, and I think we'll finish today. That's my message today. If you have any questions, feel free to message me below or even private message me. We will continue next week. I will do some glass art, which will be a lot of fun. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I burned my hand. That hurts. All right, the last shell we're putting on here. Please don't burn me. Okay. And let me clean it up a little bit. I'll show you what I have done. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Take off all the stringy parts. Hey, it's coming together. I like this project. And maybe next time I have to work with two cameras. I'm sorry, you guys cannot see what I'm doing art wise. Because I really want you to focus on what I'm saying. Okay, but here. See? It's coming together nicely. I'll have to clean it up a little bit, but it'll be there. All right. So, my final message to you today is going back to my childhood ring. Do you love you or love you not? Think about it. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see you next week. See you next Thursday.